you don't have any minority fighters over there complaining about anything, and they don't seem to be too concerned about where their rankings are with the critics because they're being compensated. So, compensate me first, and then you can put me in order of things second. But they're being compensated, so you can speak of him being number one or number two, but I'm making more money than he is. So, what man wouldn't trade off? No man is going to trade off an additional 500 for a pecking order that's created in a man's mind, and becomes more mythical as the years go by because you have favors up there. To be honest, I'm trying to figure out why Canelo is not in the top 10. You see? How can you have Golovkin there and don't have Canelo there? He's fought Floyd, he's fought Cotto, he's fought some top guys. Lara. And he's not even in the top 10. But do you think Canelo cares? No, because he's the cash cow of boxing. He's making the money. So anybody in the top 10 that's in his weight class, right, you still gonna have to bow down to the top dollar, okay? So he don't care, but he should be in the top 10.
Okay, Virgil, let me ask you about Canelo. Speaking of Canelo, some people in the boxing world have a problem with how Canelo is allowed to basically make up his own weight class as he goes along. Do you think that's fair to the other boxers that's out there pushing and grinding to get the superstar status where Canelo is? Do you think that's fair? And do you think if Andre Ward was saying, well, I'll fight this fighter or I'll fight that fighter, but it got to be at this type of weight, and he can't come over, no, he can't, blow up no more than 5 pounds on fight night. Do you think if Andre Ward was doing that, do you think he would get, the pass that Canelo seems to be getting for basically what I call weight pimping?
No. He would be raked over the coals. He would be castrated if he took that approach. But, Canelo had a good example before he started doing it because Manny did it. He starved Oscar, he starved Margarito, he starved Cotto. He did it. So I think if you really stop and think about it, Manny was the inventor of that catch weight. I can't think of any fighter who brought catch weight into focus so much as Manny being the first one who did it, bringing fighters down in weight. Floyd did it a couple of times, I believe. But if you look at Floyd's situation with Canelo, he was pretty much justified in doing it because he was always the smaller man. So if you want this money, you got to take. I think Canelo only had to go down and lose 2 pounds from 54, which he was making. So he fought Floyd, I believe, at 52.
52.
Right, but it wasn't a cap on the next night, you see. So, Manny started and Canelo is now doing it. But I don't blame Canelo, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, see, his people support him. And if we want to be real about it, the African-American race does not support their fighters. You see? So that puts us in a predicament. They don't support our fighters. They want something for nothing. I can know when we're here fighting here at the arena at Oracle. I have so many people I know of other nationalities. Hey, we got our tickets. We coming. But when it comes to our race, it's a whole nother angle. It's a whole nother game. They want something for nothing. You see? So they never support our fighters. They'll call me with dumb questions like, how do I go about getting a ticket, The same way you get a ticket to go see Luther or Freddie Jackson or whoever. Go to the ticket outlet, Ticketmaster, wherever you get them from. Can you get me a deal on some tickets? I'll pay for them. what? I don't have the power to reduce prices or add prices. So what kind of question is that? You see? So our race, just think if our race supported our fighters, everything would be a sellout. Pay-per-view would stay $1 million. So don't knock Canelo because the Hispanic race supports him. Don't knock the British fighters because, but see, that's the good thing about the UK. They don't look at color. They look at the fact that you're from the UK, you represent us, so we're going to support you. So our fighters, they don't get that kind of love from their own race. So it's no sense in complaining about what, it's unfortunate for our fighters, but they need to understand first why it's like that. So don't blame it on Canelo. Unless you're willing to go out and have to accept and play a role like Floyd had to do to get the attention, you're just not going to get it. You're not going to get it unless you reach the status of an Ali and things like that. But the publicity Ali got for the things that he stood for and who he was, he had to promote himself. But anybody who knows boxing knows that your race behind you is very important. And we just don't have that luxury, And then, of course, Floyd was supported because, a lot of people just want to see him get beat. And just like Ali, they come along in the same class. They wanted people paid to see a fight because they wanted to see him get beat. So that's what makes it tough on us these days. And then in Andre's case, a man who's going to articulate and speak with dignity, not going to compromise his principles. He's not going to compromise his manhood. He's not going to compromise his beliefs. Well, you'll label him as boring, But if he goes off and does a whole lot of stupid stuff and gets headline news on stupidity, now he's got charisma. But only for the African American fighter. That's the requirement for us. To be to have charisma and to be accessible and to have people interested in you is all the stupid stuff you do. So. And all the trash talk you talk. See, foreign fighters don't have to talk trash. All they got to do is just be themselves. But we have to talk trash and we have to do everything else. It's okay when they talk trash, like the kid who's the MMA kid. He brings a lot of attention to himself talking trash, but he backs it up. What's the kid's name?
Conor McGregor?
Conor, yeah. He backs it up. And he might be talking himself into a big payday. You see. And, hey, you can't blame Floyd for taking the fight if it's generating that kind of money. So, don't knock Floyd Mayweather either if he takes that kind of money. I had somebody in the store ask me about hasn't he made enough money, And we hear that all the time, of course. We've been answering that question the right way. What about Buffett? What about Bill Gates? What about these guys? Haven't they made enough money? But they can go on until they, a month away from changing clothes and still can make money. So it is the way it is. Boxing has always been like that. And the black athlete has always forced other people to change rules. In boxing, they changed the rule to get the belt from Jack Johnson. We couldn't fight for the belt anymore until Joe Louis come along, right? Then he had to adhere and carry himself certain ways. He couldn't even get a title shot. He was exploited even in getting a title shot where he had to give my man 10% of his purse for the next 5 fights just for me to give you a title shot. So, all the things that we've had to endure. Ali, blackballed, his best years taken from him. But when he first took the test, he wasn't even qualified. But you wanted to make an example out of him. If you look at every rule change in sports, it had to do with a black African-American athlete. Exactly. Will Chamberlain was so dominant they widened the lane in the NBA. Kareem Jabbar was so dominant in college that they outlawed dunking. it's not fair. It's not even. We're out the urban boxing style. I'm gonna hit you and you're not gonna hit me. Is not favored as much as they're tough. They're gonna go and give the fans what they want. You see, toe to toe, blood and guts. But then as soon as they're 28, 29 years old, they need to think about retiring. They've taken too much punishment. See, but if the fighter's lucky and he fights that style at a young age and he gets knocked out and he's lucky enough, he changes it. Like Marco Antonio Barrera after Junior Jones clipped him twice. I clipped him once and beat him the second time. He said, hey, this is, I'm going to change this up. You see, Arturo Gatti, I'm going to change this up. So it is what it is. So it's more important things other than what critics think about boxing and the qualifications that they have today. But again, we got a great broadcast team in Showtime doing a great job. And, I don't have any problems with the HBO team. I know Jim Lampley. I consider him a friend. He and I have had a situation where I was a big help to him. And he acknowledges that. So if I say something about him and if I criticize him, I think he can take it like a big boy. But he does play fanboy too much.
Okay.
And that's because it is what it is.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank Day Nation.
Thank you, Virgil.
I got to get to work before I get fired.
Okay. Thank you, Virgil.